Welcome to the Lauren Blackwell channel.
Am I the only one that see the parallel between what happened to Martin Lawrence in 1996 and what just happened to Nas X a couple of days ago? If you guys don't remember, or if you're not aware, in 1996, the actor Martin Lawrence was seen running through the streets on Ventura Boulevard in Los Angeles. This was in Sherman Oaks in California, and he had a weapon, okay, the type that you load, and he was running down the streets. He was screaming erratically, and there were a lot of eyewitnesses that saw him because it was a busy street at the time, and he was screaming about fighting the power or something like that, and he was acting very out of character. So he was arrested by the police, and he was checked into the hospital at some point, and then he was later released. And his team said that he was suffering from exhaustion and I think dehydration, and that was what caused his erratic behavior. And now, decades later, here is Nas X doing something similar, acting out of character, and also on Ventura Boulevard, which, by the way, is connected to Sherman Oaks in Los Angeles, California. It is very similar. The reasons might be different because from what Martin Lawrence's team have said, they did not say that his is drug related. They said he was exhausted and dehydrated. But with Nas X, they're saying that it is drug related. So I guess the reason is different, but it is very similar. I'm just saying. And both of them were talking about, well, Martin Lawrence is saying fight the power, but Nas X is talking about people wanting him to forget music, or they're trying to get him away from his work, but he's not gonna give up, etc. He has talked about that a lot, in the past few months. So basically, he also made reference to powers bigger than he is that are trying to hold him down, and him trying to resist them in some way. Both men were arrested by the police, and they were held briefly, and Martin Lawrence was later released. Nas X is still in jail, and he's going to be in jail for a couple of days until Monday. So yeah, this just jumped out at me. The first time I heard about Nas X roaming the streets, I'm like, roaming the streets of LA, acting erratic. Where have I heard of this before? And then I thought about Martin Lawrence, and I was like, yeah, this is very eerie similarity, and nobody seems to be talking about it.
So after Nas X was seen roaming the streets of LA half dressed, less than half dressed, a lot of people are saying that he was ODing on something, and some people said he was drunk. But a lot of people are thinking that this is a stunt because he has new music coming out. So this is why it is so dangerous to be someone who's known for pulling these kinds of stunts when you have a project about to be released, because even when something serious happens to you, people are less likely to take it seriously. When I saw the clip, which I'm not gonna post just because I don't think it's appropriate, but when I saw the clip of him walking and I heard the way he was speaking, he sounded normal to me. I don't know what people look like when they are ODing but still lucid, but I think we all know when someone has had too many substances and they're like falling asleep or not really themselves. But when he spoke, he sounded normal to me. Honestly, even walking, the catwalk was very good, and he seemed stable on his feet. So I'm not sure what he could possibly be ODing on. If that is what truly happened, I think that is the story that is circulating. I'm not sure who put the story out. I saw it on TMZ, but I don't know if it is Nas X's team that is putting that story out. I doubt it. But yeah, he just did not seem like someone that had taken too many substances to me. Honestly, he didn't even seem drunk to me, maybe a little tipsy, but for someone who's already flamboyant in personality, that to me is not out of place. Now, what makes it seem odd is that it is in the middle of the night. I think it was around 4 a.m. and he was by himself and he was not fully dressed. So I guess if you put all of that together, you would say, okay, something is going on with him. But it could still be that this is some kind of stunt. He pulls a lot of stunts. I don't know if he has put that behind him, but he is known to pull a lot of stunts. The part, though, that makes it seem as if this were a legitimate problem that he's having was when the police showed up and he was arrested. He is charged with assaulting a police officer. I think he's charged with battery, and I don't think he would let things go that far if this were a stunt, which is what makes me think that he truly is going through something. But initially when I saw the video, it did not seem like I just thought he was being silly in the middle of the night with his friends. But yeah, so the fact that he was by himself made me wonder, where is everyone? Where are his friends? Where are his people? These celebs need to have family around them all the time. I think that they need to have at least one family member that lives with them, so that they're not living in the house all by themselves. And when something like this happens, they would at least have someone with them who's able to, I don't know, maybe lead them back to the house, or even prevent this from getting this far, because this is not good at all. Nas X has been talking about trying to make a comeback, and after Old Town Road, his label has made it difficult for him because they have not liked a lot of the work that he's been creating. And I think he said in an interview that they keep making him go back to rewrite some of his lyrics to his new music because they want something that will perform as good as Old Town Road and, you know, his earlier work. And that is going to be very, very difficult to duplicate because his work at the beginning of his career, when he first blew up, performed really, really well. It performed so well that to expect him to keep that up would be insane. I don't know if it'll be possible, but Nas X's work still performs pretty well. So I'm not sure why they give him such a hard time. I guess because he has reached a certain height, they want him to continue to be at that height. But he's been releasing good music, so I don't know. So yeah, he's been having problems with his label. He's not been happy with the trajectory of his career all of these years, and he's been trying to make changes, and it looks like he finally is getting serious and focusing more on his craft and less on his stunts, and creating more music to put out. He has a few tracks that are on his Instagram that I listened to. They were good. They were pretty good. And then for this to happen now, this is very poor timing. And I'm not sure what is going on, but whatever it is, he needs to get it under control. He needs to get his family to be closer to him, maybe. And who knows, that might help him kick whatever habit this is. He has talked before about being addicted to a substance, and I don't know if he beats the addiction, but he said he used to take a lot of it, and hopefully he's not having the same problem now with his habit coming back and taking over his career, because this is bad. This is not the kind of problem that anybody wants to have when they're trying to get back into their career. So yeah, it is annoying that a lot of people are dismissing this and saying that it's a stunt, but honestly, can you blame them? Because Nas X, just, this is the reputation that he has built for himself. So if you have a habit of acting in a certain way, and then when something truly happens to you, people say that you're a crying wolf and are not taking you seriously, you cannot blame them. If this had happened to a different artist, like, I don't know, maybe Chris Brown or someone else, no one will think that it's a stunt, because he's not known to pull this kind of a stunt. But these days, people are doing anything to help their music sell. It is so difficult now to compete. It is so competitive in the music industry, and people are doing any and everything. So it is not far-fetched at all for people to say that this is a stunt. But personally, I don't think it's a stunt. He has been hospitalized. The news of the OD may have come from the hospital, now that I think about it. I'm not sure where exactly it came from, but it may have come from the hospital, in which case it definitely is not a stunt. And then as far as him getting arrested and assaulting a police officer, that's not something he has ever done before, so I don't think he'll allow his stunts to go that far. So whatever it is that's wrong with him, I hope he's okay and back making music. That's all I have on this. Thank you guys for watching. See you in my next one. Bye guys.